Hello all, Jamie here from Craftmania, and today I'm introducing you to our brand new die of the week. This week we have an amazing saving on a design by Lisa Horton, and I have a feeling you're going to really like this. This week's is a true essential that I feel every crafter needs in their stash. But before I introduce you to the die, tell you about our huge saving and show you lots of inspiration created with it, please don't forget to click subscribe and tap the bell so you're notified of all of our videos here on YouTube. And if you're watching us on one of our other social platforms, please make sure that you're following there too, because we'd hate for you to miss out on anything that's going on here at Craftmania. This week already we've shared with you a hot off the desk video designed by our lovely Sharon on the design team. We've also shared with you an incredible bundle saving on Wax Lyrical by Pink Ink. If you haven't seen that video, I urge you to watch that after this one. It's using this incredible like liquid wax that you can apply with your finger and highlight different areas. It's also water-based, so you can mix it down with water and turn it into the most gorgeous paint. There's loads you can do with it. Great video sharing with you, lots of inspiration, and it's got a huge saving. And I can also tell you that at the end of this week, so Saturday, as we get to the end of the week or hit the weekend, there'll be a new video on the Craftmania YouTube channel bringing more inspiration with Andy's robot stamps, and I've got a couple of those I've snuck into today's video to give you a bit of a sort of clue at what's coming. But there is a brand new standalone video that will launch on Saturday with more inspiration. So as I say, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're following, because I don't want you to miss any of the content we've got scheduled to bring you over the next few weeks. So this week's die of the week, as I mentioned, is designed by Lisa Horton, and as I said, true essential. Happy birthday. How many happy birthday cards do we all make a year? It's genuinely probably the most popular thing you're going to be making. This and Christmas cards, it's probably going to sort of butt up for top place, isn't it? If it's Christmas or happy birthday. I feel this is a gorgeous design because of it's one that is going to be able to go into your projects without stealing the show. It's completely unthemed. By that I mean there's no flowers, there's no toolbox, there's nothing on there that's going to sort of give it an age group or possibly a theme or a styling that you might feel you've got to aim for with this. So whether you're using this for your men's cards, your teenagers cards, your wintry birthday cards, your summery birthday cards, it doesn't really matter. It's going to work for all of them because it's plain and simple, and it's going to be about how you decorate as to how you're going to theme it. And I feel you'll see that through the examples I'm going to share with you, because I've sort of gone off all over the place, and that's really intentionally to show you how it fits with flowers, it fits with sort of robots and bits, fits with all them different bits you're going to want to bring in and use with this die set. Now, we have this for you on an incredible price. The recommended retail price for this die is £8.99. If you would like to purchase this week, we have it on offer for you for £4.50. I don't think these are going to last very long, and you know that we can't always get more of our die of the week. They're kind of a buy it when you see it kind of situation. So if you're liking the look of this one, don't dilly-dally. If you don't know where to purchase it, let's cover that bit for you. Pop onto the website www.craftmaniacrafts.com. When you land on the website, you will find Die of the Week in the menu bar, whether that's a drop-down menu bar on a mobile device or the menu bar that runs across the page on a PC. Either or, both of them will have Die of the Week. Give that a little click, it will open a page. On the page, you will see the picture of the Die of the Week. Give that a little click and it will take you through to a page dedicated just to this video and just to this week's Die of the Week, where everything we're going to be talking about throughout this video will be on that page for you. So when we get on to looking through the cards, if you see an ink you like, a card you like, a card blank you like, a flower die you like, everything will all be on that one page for you, so you don't have to go searching around the website. It's all in one place. But equally, if there is anything that you can't quite see there or that you'd like help finding, let us know and we will of course pop a link in the reply to you. Of course there is a search bar and it should all be easily found, but you know, we all hit these blocks sometime and we're on hand if we can help. You can also order by phone 01493 843 666, and of course you can pop in store and collect this as well at Craftmania Essentials, Great Yarmouth. So then, the other bit we need to cover before I forget is postage. It's one thing being able to go and order it, know where to find it. What are we going to pay to get this? Well, the good bit here at Craftmania is if you spend over £10, your UK P&P is completely free. We don't charge you a penny because we believe in trying to bring you the best value we possibly can when it comes to P&P. If you wish to spend less than £10, maybe you just want the die on its own, not a problem. Your P&P is capped at £2.95. If you spend under or over £10 and would like to upgrade your P&P to first class, then of course you can do that. That's capped at £3.95. And if you're watching from around the world and wondering, can I order this from where I am? Of course you can. We send all of our products to every part of the globe imaginable, and we do all of this under our capped £10 P&P, meaning that the most you will pay is £10. If we find your P&P internationally cheaper than that, we will refund the difference to you. If it costs more than £10, here at Craftmania, we pay that difference for you. There's a few terms and conditions to all of the bits we've just covered, and if you'd like to know more about how all of that works, pop onto the website, have a little look under the customer service tab, and one of them says something like postage and shipping and bits like that. Give that a click, it'll tell you all about it. All of the boring T's and C's bit. So let's delve in and look at this die, shall we? Because this is a lovely one. So what we have here is 3 different dies coming to you all in the one packet. Now these are designed in quite a cool way, because what they do is actually stay attached to your cardstock. So when this cuts out, it will cut sort of this area out on the sides to create an opening, similar to what you can see on the packaging, but it will leave in place the top bar and the lower bar. So it will actually stay attached to your paneling. This will all come clearer when we look at the cards in a second, I promise. But you can choose to put the two together. You can choose to leave a gap between them. You could choose to just use one maybe and add in a little sentiment or a little stamped image or something underneath instead. Or you could just have the birthday bit, whatever you prefer. On top of that, Lisa's also given you this cool little die. Now this is a straight line die with a stitch line on one side of it, meaning that if you wish to, you can bring this in on either side, whether you wish to keep or leave out the stitch element on your panel, and you can put that either side of your bars to actually cut them free as such and to cut them off. Again, this will come clear, I promise, when we look at the samples. And we'll bring these back in and sort of explain a little bit more as we go through. But it means you've got 3 individual dies which open up a whole world of possibilities to you, all in your one packet coming to you at just £4.50. So let's look at some samples so we can see this in action. So let's bring this one in. Now we're starting off here with one of our robot stamps. Now these are really cool stamps. Now I mentioned, and we'll cover this first, I mentioned that there's a video coming on Saturday with our robot stamps. The bundle is already available and it's already on the website. So are the individuals and so are all of the savings. So if you watch this video today and you fall in love with the robots, don't feel you've got to wait till Saturday for the video to come out to get your hands on them, or if there'll be an extra savings or anything. The bundle prices, the individual discounts are already set for you. There are standard bundle discount prices, great savings, but they're not going to alter when the video comes out. In the video, we'll show you how the stamps work, what they're about, and we'll show you, I can't even remember, about 8 or 9, maybe even more than that, projects with them to give you some more inspiration. And they're different projects to what we're going to be covering in today's video. Being honest with you, the bits I've made for today's video were bits I had left over from when I did that video. So hence in that video, you won't see these samples. This one's filmed after that one. All boring jargon, but it helps you to understand how the videos come about and where the bits come from, hopefully. So then, with our little robot here, what I did was I stamped this using my brushed gold metallic ink pad, and I've just stamped it onto our black cardstock. I've then brought in the birthday bar and I've placed that over that area, and I've brought in the happy bar and I've placed that over that area, and I've sent it through my machine. So I stamped first because I had that already, placed the 2 bars in, sent it through. When you remove these, that is exactly what you see you have created. So there's no trickery here, there's no complication, there's no snipping, there's no hard work here. That is literally what is created for you, is that happy and your birthday element. Now I mentioned earlier about using these as separate pieces, so maybe you just wish to use the happy. And I also mentioned bringing in maybe a little birthday stamp to go under here. That could be happy Christmas, that could be happy anniversary, that could be happy Easter, that could be happy, you know, the list goes on, doesn't it, when it comes to the word happy. Might be that you've got a father's die, or a mother die, and you could quite easily create the happy mothers and then maybe another die or stamp for day, make kind of an eclectic look between them. So I like the fact they're separate because it opens up more options to you, and I think that could be quite good fun. So that's card number 1, to give you a little bit of inspiration. As I say, very, very simple. A lot of the cards this week are very simple, but that's what I like. It's to give you some quick inspiration, and then of course we can do more complicated with them if we wish to. Now on that one, I show you how I die cut into the panel to create these 2 pieces. On this one, I took the largest tile die, cut in white, and placed that over the top. So I brought both of these together. I centralised the wording, so that sort of set them off slightly. And then I took the tile element, I placed it over the top, and I sent that through my machine. And when that's come out, it's created this white level of the tile. I then cut the same tile size in pink and placed that underneath it so the pink shines through. I've then used our corners from our elegant butterfly die set. I've put them into the corners with a stitch line from the delicate decal edge rectangles, and I've cut all of that lot in one go to create that filigree panel. I've then layered with more decal edges with the stitches, and I've brought in the cosmos flower and the cosmos leaves to finish this creation off. So very, very quick, very, very easy, but actually quite pretty, hopefully. And sometimes that's nice, isn't it, if we can do pretty and quick. And I think this die set certainly ticks that box for you. Then this one, this is a panel I created for a reel on the Jamie Rodgers Crafts Facebook page. I was showing you how you could do letter pressing with our brand new blending mats. If you haven't seen that reel, pop on over to that page and you'll be able to find the reel. If you just scroll down the page, it'll be there. But it's basically taking one of our blending mats, covering it in one colour of ink, stamping over with another colour of ink, and then sending it through your machine as you would do to emboss a stencil. That will then letterpress all of that ink, all of that stamped image from the blending plate off onto your cardstock to create this fabric-esque looking panel. I've then taken the two dies from the die of the week, the happy and the birthday, and a bit like the first one, I've just placed them in place and I've sent this through the machine to cut those out. I then used a scallop and a pierced square. Hopefully you can just about see that detailing, and I've sent that panel through with that around it to trim it out and neaten up the edges for me. And then to finish it off, I've laid it on another one of those panels and I've added in a couple of butterflies to just complete the look of the card. So very simple, very easy again, really nothing complicated today. Then another one of our robot inspiration. So again, not one that you're going to see on this week's video that launches on Saturday, but another little glimpse for you at what you could be creating with the robots. Now with these robots, I've stamped them in our blue ink first of all, which is called Blue Emperor, our quick dry pigment inks. I then stamped over the top of that using the black, which is Panther Black if I remember rightly. And then over the top of that, I've used our lovely blue metallic ink to stamp over the top of that. So same stamp on a press, just using 3 different colours of ink and multi-stamping, and that will achieve this sort of triple tone stamped image. I don't know how well that will come across, but here in the studio you can see the black ink, you can see the blue ink, and then you can see the metallic ink over the top of it, giving you a really cool effect. I think that's something I sometimes forget that I can do, is stamping in multiple colours, and as long as you clean your stamp in between layers, not all inks will lay on top of each other, not all inks will still be solid enough so that you can see the layers of them. But I did find with this combination that they layered really lovely and you see the different shades come through, and that works really nicely to give you a slightly different style of stamping, especially when you're looking at something along the lines of the robots here, because it's of course going to give you that multi-tonal sort of distressed effect really. Then the happy birthday bit. So with this one, what I have done this time is I took a piece of our Night Sky Navy cardstock, because I was trying to match in the colours that were sort of formulated by the blending of the inks here, and I used all 3 dies. So I've used the happy, I've used the birthday, and then on the top of it, because I wanted to show you the cutaway element, I've put the stitch line with the straight line on there, and I've sent that through. And then what that's done for me is it's cut away the top part of this panel, it's added in that stitch detail that you can see on there, and it's left me choosing where I want to trim the other 3 sides to this panel. So it just gives you more options. With my Night Sky Navy card, I've taken the same blue metallic ink and I've just lightly brushed that over the top of it, so that I've ended up with this borderline denim looking metallic panel, which is kind of a cool way to jazz up our plain cardstock, give it a metallic-y finish and match it in with our stamped imaging, which is kind of fun. Then we move on to a couple more cards. Now the next 3, these ones were all covered in last week's video. Last week? Yeah, I suppose it was last week, wasn't it? Not Saturday just gone, the one before that. I should give you dates, shouldn't I? If I'd planned ahead, I could sit here and tell you the date of the video or even maybe the name of the video. But do you think I've planned ahead? Nah. So forgive me, sorry. But it's the metallic inks video. Now I'm going to try and grab one of the ink so you know what I mean. These lovely ink pads that are Jamie Rodgers Crafts metallic inks. All the different colours of these. We bought these out in a bundle for you a couple of weeks ago. There is a video on our YouTube channel. You'll also find it on the Craftmania Facebook page if you would prefer to go on there to have a little look for it. But we covered all of the techniques on the next 3 cards in that video. They're actually panels I created. So I'm going to bring these in at once actually so we can chat about them. So these 2 cards, we took the kaleidoscope formation. No, is it formation? I really should remember the names. Formation butterfly stencil. I laid that down. I took the inks and I sort of went over the top of it, if I remember rightly. Did a little bit of blending with a blending brush, but it was all about transferring the ink onto the stencil more than what I was stenciling through with. But actually, when we took the stencil away to use the ink off of the top of it, we found that the panel underneath was really, really pretty. And I didn't want to waste that, so I kept hold of that and brought it into this week's video. The ink that was on the stencil, we sent through with a piece of white card on the top through the machine with a rubber mat. So not only did it emboss the stencil, it transferred the ink off of the stencil, a bit like we was talking about with the blending mat one earlier, transferred the ink off of the stencil and onto the card. And that's what we've created here. So we've got our metallic ink in the background, we've got our embossed butterflies, because they're obviously the bit in the stencil without any ink on them, and that created our background panel. And I thought it would be nice to bring these dies in to show you how we could work these panels created with a metallic ink in with these dies. So this one, very similar to the others, I've just taken the 2 dies, leaving off the line die, sent it through, cut that part out, and then when you reveal them, you're left with the happy birthday elements there, and I've just trimmed the panel down. Ever so simple, ever so easy. With this one, I did something slightly different. I took the 2 words and I actually set them, so there was something along them lines, and I put them onto a piece of gold mirror card and I sent that through the machine. When they come out, of course, they're attached to the panel, so I've just used a guillotine to trim across the top and the bottom. I could have used this line if I wanted to add in a stitch detail, but I was quite happy to not have a stitch detail, so I left that off and guillotined my happy birthday out. So when you see this strip, it's all one panel that I've just trimmed down and cut both of the words at the same time. I've then added the butterfly. This is our elegant butterflies, and I've used the elegant butterfly to just go onto the top here and match in. Our elegant butterflies match in with the butterflies that are in the stencils. So whether it's this stencil, the formation stencil, no, this one is the formation, get it right, Jamie. The formation, the kaleidoscope, or the floral spray stencil, all 3 of those match in with the butterflies found in the elegant butterfly set. So matching this die set with this stencil, if it looks like it matches perfectly, it's because it does, which is what we like, isn't it? It's having that easy sort of flowing matching effect. Then for our last card, we are going to share this one with you. Now this one is our stamped roses. So this time on the video last week, we did this already. We did our stamping and we did multi-tonal stamping with the Floral Melody stamp. So I've used the stamp and I've taken the metallic ink pads and I've literally just added patches in and stamped them one at a time to build that effect up and create the multi-tonal styling, which I really am falling in love with. Very similar to when we spoke about our robots earlier, very similar to that card as well. It's just building up those layers and creating that effect. I've then taken the panels and I've done exactly the same as we did before, and I've just placed this on here and sent it through to create that effect and cut those elements out. Very similar to a lot of the others, but it's just opened up that area. I've placed black card behind it to make that sort of pop and sing. And that's how I've created this week's cards to hopefully give you a bit of inspiration on what you could be creating with this die. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm looking at this that I can cut them out, I can cut them in, I can cut them into our dies, I can cut them into our sort of layering panels, I can just cut away one edge if I want to. There's a lot that we can do with this set of 3 dies. And I always find this, especially with some of Lisa's products, along with many other designers, when they start giving you the pieces as individual components, and it's not all just joined together in one format, you're creating more versatility, you're creating more freedom to create. And I feel that this die really demonstrates that perfectly, because you've got all of them different ways you could use them. And of course, you can see in my designs, I've gone very sort of level as such, but there's no reason why you couldn't start bringing these in diagonally and going across your panels diagonally. Not everything has to be level. There's no reason why you couldn't bring some in and use them vertically perhaps and create some different effects in that styling. There's no reason why you couldn't cut these out, cut them right the way down, just the smaller words, and use the words on their own joined together in a little frame. So there's loads and loads of ways you could be using these, way more than I've managed to show you here. Just because obviously with a die set like this with so many options, we could make 100 cards and probably not cover every single way and styling and position that you could be using this set. So if you've fallen in love with this set, which I think you possibly will do, because I think it is really versatile, isn't it? And it's, as I said earlier, it's a bit of an essential. How many birthday cards do we make? And how many times do we just go back to the same die, the same happy birthday? This to me brings in something new. It gives you new stylings, new offerings, new everything to play around with. And what better time to get hold of it than when it's half price? So if you'd like to grab this for just £4.50, pop onto the Craftmania website, www.craftmaniacrafts.com. When you're on there, have a little look for the tab that says Die of the Week, give it a click, it'll open up, you'll see a picture of this die, give that a click and it'll open up, and all of the bits that we've looked at throughout this video will be on there. So whether that's the robot stamps, the rose stamps, the butterflies, the stencils, the flowers, everything you see on the cards before you will all be on that one page for you, so you don't have to go searching around trying to look for the bits. If you do get stuck, let us know in the comments and I'll send you a link. It's ever so easy. Don't hesitate to ask. We're always here to help if we can. Now, as I mentioned earlier, your P&P, if you spend over £10 and you live in the UK, that will qualify you for free UK P&P. If you spend less than £10, maybe you just want to grab the die of the week, that's no problem. Your P&P will be charged at £2.95. If you wish to upgrade to first class P&P, whether you spend under or over £10, then that is £3.95. And if you wish to order this from around the world, then there's absolutely no reason why you can't. Your P&P will be capped at £10. If it's found cheaper than £10 to post it to you, we'll refund the difference to you. If it costs us more than £10 to post it to you, then here at Craftmania, we will actually pay that for you. We just try to help out in every way we can. And on top of all of this, if you haven't signed up already to become one of our Craftmania Inner Rewards Program loyalty system members, I never get the name right. I'm going to have to write that down and put it somewhere. Craftmania Inner Rewards something, isn't it? I don't know. It's on the web. There's a little bar on the menu. Click that, become a member. It's free to join, it doesn't cost you a penny, and every £1 you spend, we give you a point. The more points you collect, the more you move up the tiers, and the more rewards you're going to benefit from receiving. All for just shopping as you normally do. It's a completely free way of us saying thank you to you for being a customer of Craftmania and helping to support us. So if we can support you, we certainly will. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration. And as I mentioned, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.